Hey y'all, it's Bubbles First Kit, and I'm bringing to you today Chernobog. So his kit's pretty good, to say the least. His 1 is an AoE that does damage when it lands, and then explodes 2 seconds later, rooting and dealing damage again. His 2 shoots out like a basic attack. It's actually a basic attack, doesn't augment the damage whatsoever, and gives him attack speed for a short time. When you use your 1, you can explode it with your 2 early. So that means you get the damage off quicker and the root off. His 2 actually costs a lot of mana, so you kind of have to use that sparingly. His 3 is a dash. When you dash through targets, it deals damage and slows them, and then goes into a wall. You get Sanctuary and Beads when you're in the wall, and if you don't use the dash again, you stand completely still where you were in the wall. But here he goes in the wall, and then you can dash back out. And if you hit the target twice with both parts of the dash, it stacks the slow. His passive, what it does is augments his basic attacks whenever he puts 3 stacks on a target. So 1, 2, on the 3rd stack it should do AoE damage, and it did. Alright, and it procs ability effects. Apparently it procs Crusher, so that's cool. So his ult, what it does, it gives him beads, shoots up into the air, and it spawns minions at every enemy target on the map. These minions chase the target with, increasing movement speed every time you rank up the ability, and it applies a slow every time they hit, 5%, stacking 4 times. When you land, it gives you a buff. You have to land on one of the minions that you have out on the map on one of the enemy targets, and you get the buff. You get a buff for 6 seconds, giving you damage mitigation and movement speed. So here it is. See the minion? I can go and land on the minion, and then I have the buff for 6 seconds, as you can see, where I get the damage mitigation and movement speed. So here's how I like to use this character. His 1 and 2 do a lot of damage, a lot of burst damage, because of Hydras. The way Hydras works on this character, it's pretty cool, because his 2 is technically a basic attack. So when you use your 2, it gives you Hydras, and then the next basic attack that lands on a target hurts the target, or procs that Hydras and does 40% more damage. So I use the 2, and it hits the target, so it uses my Hydras. But if you're close enough, then it doesn't use the Hydras. And this is how you can take advantage of this. See, I'll have Hydras after I use my 2, even though it's technically a basic attack. So see, I have Hydras this time, and then I augmented that basic attack. Instead of 591, I'm doing 422 normally. And the 2 procs his passive. So that's really, really cool. Here's how to cheese burst damage. So since the 2 doesn't use the Hydra's proc, when you're close to the target, you can use the 1 to make it do that. And then you use the 2, it procs the Hydras, and you have Hydras again. See? 591. It proc 591 on both the 2, because the 1 giving Hydras, and then the 2 gave me Hydras again, and it didn't use it. So then I get the 591 on the next basic. But the coolest part is that this roots the target. So I'm guaranteed to hit that second basic unless I just whiff it completely, It's on a rooted target, so I'm not gonna miss though. So I get 2 procs of Hydras right there, which is really cool. And this actual succession of 4 on the Odin targets, between the 1 hitting, the 2 hitting, the 1 hitting again, and the basic attack on the rooted target, this does 2,000 damage on these Odins. That burst right there with this full build, which is a lot of damage. And that's not including my dash. That does 267 apparently on these Odins, and slows them so I can land even more basic attacks. This doesn't include a second basic attack from because if I'm using my 2, I can get a second off with the attack speed increase. So look at that attack speed. This doesn't include the if I have the passive, if I already hit him once with the basic before I use this, which would make my 3rd basic, which is my basic while he's rooted, do extra damage. So I hit him once. Let's reset it actually. There's the stack. So I hit him with that, and then that, and this, yep, it did AoE. So that does bonus damage, also the Crusher. I'm not taking into account Crusher or the passive. And it does 2,000 damage. But I think I left something out about his ult. His ult reduces his cooldowns. So as you can see here, I use my 1, my 2, and then the basic. That does 2,000 damage, and then I ult, come back down, and it resetted the cooldowns. And I get it again. Get the 2,000 burst damage again, which is quite strong. So what I'm going to do is use my 1, crack the Hydras with my 2, while getting Hydras a second time, use the basic, and then ult, and then do it all over again. Wow, I didn't even need to. This kit, pretty strong. Thanks for watching, y'all, and if you liked this video, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe, as well as follow me on my social media pages so you can keep up with all my YouTube videos and when I go live on twitch.tv/BubblesFirstKitten. I'm Bubbles First Kitten, and I'll see you all next time.